I don't think she slept a wink last night.
So I'll be at Manning's hearing this morning. I'll call you after.
Thanks, bro.
Come in.
You want to see me, Bo?
Yeah. Did you see the front page of the Sun this morning? How long have you known that your brother had custody of Manning's son?
Good morning, Star.
Hey, have you heard anything about my dad yet? Is he out of jail?
No, I haven't actually, and your mother should be down soon. Is Langston still in bed?
No.
She did spend the night, though, right? I mean, she is always welcome to stay here when her parents are out of town, which seems to be quite frequently.
Well, she just went home to get some stuff for school.
Oh, that's right. This is your first day back.
And I'm gonna go find my mom. Hey, have you talked to Dad?
Well, his hearing is this morning.
Well, why aren't you there?
There's something I have to tell you.
Like what?
You better be good. Damn good. You better be better than Cody. You're gonna get me out of these bogus charges. I'm gonna get to my son before the McVeigns pull something else.
Don't worry. Lewis filled me in. I've got the situation under control.
Yeah, better be. One screw up, I'm gonna fire your ass.
I understand that. But these things happen one step at a time. Here comes step one.
What are you doing here, Miles?
Take it easy, Todd. I asked him here.
Why is that?
To tell the judge, he refuses to press assault charges against you.
Is that true?
Yeah. I don't like you. I never will because of what you did to Marty.
What I did to Marty.
Yeah.
What about you blackmailing her?
He's here to help, Todd. Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's good at it. Can't help himself.
Hey, you want to walk away from these charges or not?
Well, it's not like I didn't have cause. This guy's jerked me around so much, I'm lucky to be alive.
I'm sorry for not being honest with you before.
Not being honest. Yeah, you were lying.
Hey, Tosh. Zip it. You know, it's okay. He's right. I sent him on a wild goose chase to Chicago.
Yeah, almost got me killed.
It was wrong. As soon as I figured it out, I tried to make it right. I told you that Tommy McBain is your son. I showed Blair proof. And I'm not pressing charges now.
But no Lawrence ever does anything for free. So why don't you spit it out? What do you want?
I want to call it even between the two of us. Can we do that?
Mom, what's going on? Is Dad in more trouble than you thought?
No, it's not that.
Well, then what is it? Is it the baby? He is alive.
Oh, he's very much alive. And you will never guess. You won't believe where he has been all this time. I couldn't believe it.
How did you find out?
Find out what?
I wish I had found out from you, but instead I had to read about it in the paper.
The paper? What's a star? Wait, Star, just... Tommy McBain is my brother?
Honey, are you sure you don't want me to make you some breakfast?
No, I'm not hungry. How's Tommy doing?
Back to sleep? You know, you should really eat something, Marcy.
No, I don't have time.
What are you doing anyway?
I'm finishing the questions for the lawyer. What does it look like?
Well, I thought we did that
I
already.
keep coming up with more, Mike.
Honey,
Yeah?
I know that you're having a hard time, like digesting all this stuff. And I gotta tell you, so am I.
No, I'm not really. I'm very clear. Actually, I know exactly what we need to do.
What? Tommy is Todd's son.
No. Todd is claiming that Tommy is his son. There's a difference.
Marcy, a simple DNA test is gonna prove it.
Well, even if there is Michael, then we're going to fight this.
Of course we are. We're gonna fight it with everything we've got.
Look, can we please just focus on the good news, okay? The good news is that Todd is in jail, and with any luck, John and the courts will make sure that that is exactly where he stays. And then that man will never get near our son ever again.
The Truman case has had this department tied up for just too long now, John. So I need the truth. How long have you known about Tommy?
Too long not to have said anything about it.
Who else knew?
I can only speak for myself, Bo.
All right. You know that Truman keeping the truth from Manning, that's a crime. And if you found out, but you kept that knowledge to yourself, that makes you an accessory after the fact.
I'm aware of that. I knew it all along. If I had to do it all over, I would.
Why do you think we haven't heard from John?
Well, maybe he's uncomfortable. He seems kind of like the guy who's not really, cool with thank you notes.
But, I mean, he deserves it. It's because of him we got our life back.
Well, you know what he would say. All in a day's work, ma'am.
Wow, Mom, you do a really bad imitation of John. Oh.
Yes, there's nobody else like him. I mean...
Well, no, yeah, I know what you mean.
Publisher Todd Manning has sued Dr. and Mrs. McBain for immediate custody of his child. Manning alleges that LPD Lieutenant John McBain and his brother and sister-in-law conspired to keep his infant son from him even after learning their adoption was illegal.
Okay, we're even.
Well, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get.
All rise. The Court of Honorable Judge Terrence McClellan is now in session.
You may be seated. Mr. Manning, you are charged with 2 counts of assault, jailbreak, resisting arrest, and contempt of court. How do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor. Your Honor, the first charge of assault is against one Mr. Miles Lawrence, who is present in the courtroom.
Your Honor, I am Miles Lawrence. May I say something?
If you're going to testify against the defendant, you'll have to wait till you take the stand.
Well, that's just the thing. I don't want to testify against Mr. Manning. There was no assault.
What are you talking about?
Exactly what I said. It never happened.
Mr. Pollock, do you have any other witnesses?
The defendant's ex-wife was also present during the attack.
And Ms. Kramer will not be testifying either, Your Honor.
Does the DA's office have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Then the charges regarding the assault are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And as to the second charge of assault, the jailbreak, resisting, and contempt?
Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth has ample witnesses and evidence to support these charges, and the DA's office is requesting the maximum penalty for each offense.
Marcy, they're not gonna keep Todd in jail forever.
I don't really know about that, Mike. I mean, look at all those charges that they have against him. It's quite possible that they could keep Todd locked up for a very long time. Tommy could even be a grown-up by the time he gets out.
Honey, even if that did happen, which I don't think it's going to, Todd is gonna just stop going for custody.
At least they're not gonna give Tommy to a criminal, Michael. And Blair cannot make a claim. She is not his biological mother. And besides that, they're not even married anymore. And Star and Jack, they're minors, right? And okay, Vicki Davidson is his sister, but I don't believe that she's gonna take Tommy away from us.
Do you know what I think? I think that maybe we should try not to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Dr. McBain?
You must be Judy. Come in. Marcy, this is Judy Shulman Brown. She's the attorney that the Paxtons told us about.
Yeah, hi. I'm Marcy McBain. Rita told me all about you. I teach with her, and gosh, she told me that you worked miracles with her custody issues, Miss Shulman Brown.
I'm Judy, okay?
Judy.
Might as well jump right to first names.
Okay.
Because before this is over, we're going to be family.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here to our home and meeting with us.
It's not a problem. I completely understand why you don't want to leave your child, but trust me, no one is going to suddenly show up and snatch him out of your arms.
No, really? Because, that's kind of what it feels like.
I know. I would feel the same if I were you. But you need to do your best to relax. It doesn't work that way.
You know, maybe somebody should tell Todd that.
Let him try something. That'll just make our case stronger.
Then you think that we have a case?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
You know, I have this whole list of questions, and could you just tell me, is there a way that we can keep our son?
Every cop has to make decisions, personal choices. And this one had to be really tough for you.
Well, I took an oath to uphold the law, but if I did, my brother loses his son.
You put your family first.
I did what I had to do. I know I let you down.
No, I understand. More than you think.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Justice and the law have never been so apart from me.
It's just like with my father.
You bent the rules?
Almost. I was going to arrest him, as sick as he was. I was going to throw him in jail. But he died before I had the chance.
Any regrets?
Yeah, plenty. He would have seen that as a betrayal of the family. And if he hadn't died first, that would have killed him. And I would have had to live with that. I still do, in a way.
What I did, Bo, I thought was right, too. Or I wouldn't have done it.
I think that's how Lindsay felt. That maybe she was doing the wrong thing, but for all the right reason.
I can't speak for Lindsay.
Well, you shouldn't.
Michael and Marcy. They didn't know Tommy was Todd's son when they adopted him. Why should they be punished for that?
Well, should Manning?
No one should. They're all Truman's victims.
Except for those that knew the secret and said nothing. See, those people are culpable.
Do what you have to do, Bo. I know you don't have a choice.
Okay, wait a second. Did I hear that right? That the McBain's baby could be Todd Manning's son?
How can that be?
It can't. There's no way Mrs. McBain would take someone else's kid. It's impossible.
Well, you know what? If Spencer is involved, anything is possible. There's nothing he wouldn't do to get revenge on the people he hates.
Does that mean that Miles knew the whole time?
Well, I just heard what you did, but all they said was that Miles just told Todd. But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if he knew the whole time and just kept it to himself.
What a creep.
You know, no one, not even Todd, deserves this.
Well, yeah, but neither do the McBains. I mean, come on, that's their son. I mean, they love him.
How terrible for them to actually lose their son. And John, I mean, Tommy is his nephew. Oh, my God. No wonder we haven't heard from him. He's probably so worried about his brother and Marcy. He's probably doing everything he can to protect them.
This just happened. I mean, that means that John knew yesterday. I mean, he knew before anyone else. I mean, there's no way John would keep that a secret.
He might, if it meant keeping his family from getting hurt.
Sentencing requests are a bit premature, don't you think, Mr. Pollard?
Your Honor, Mr. Manning has a long history of flagrantly taking the law into his own hands, as evidenced once again by these most recent charges against him.
I'm well aware of Mr. Manning's history. Does the DA's office have some personal vendetta against
No,
Mr.
no, Your Honor. We just want to make sure that justice is being served.
As do I. That is my job, Counselor.
In the interest of justice, Your Honor, I would ask that the remaining charges against my client be dropped. Though technically, crimes were committed, Mr. Manning was justified in doing everything he did. He was pushed to the breaking point. I think we can all agree that the loss of a child is enough to drive a person temporarily insane.
I can't believe this. We're front page news again, which means that Brittany is probably at the printers as we speak, blowing it up poster size.
But it's all good news, sweetie.
Yeah, you know that, and I know that. But Brittany's going to hear that you threw Dad in jail, and boom, first day of school, and I'm off and running.
Oh, forget about Brittany. This is about your little brother. Brittany's an only child, so blah. Get it?
She's an only child because her parents didn't want to repeat their mistake.
Now, Star.
Don't stop her. Actually, that's kind of funny.
I'm trying to be a parent here, Dorian.
Could you guys not argue? You're giving me a really big headache.
I don't believe it, though. Really, how did this get into the paper so quickly?
Well, Dorian, I bet Todd dictated it from the jail cell. What do you think?
Well, it is truly unbelievable. The Todd's son has been here in Llanview this whole time, and with the McBains, of all people.
Mom, how did you find all of this out?
Oh, Miles Lawrence told me. But I promise you that I told your father the minute I heard, okay?
And you totally lost it.
Yeah. He wanted to go over to the McBains right then and there and grab Tommy right out of Marcy's hands, I'm sure, but that's why I sided with John, so I'd buy some time so John could actually tell them, you know, and give them some time with the least amount of pain. But of course, that didn't happen. Tommy's a beautiful little boy.
Thank you. He's really sweet.
This is all the documentation that my brother gave to me about Tommy being Todd's son. I mean, it's everything that the police have.
Is this the death certificate?
It is. I mean, it's obviously a fake.
Who set it up?
Set it up? What do you mean?
It had to be either Spencer Truman or Miles Lawrence, right? No one else knew about Tommy until your brother uncovered it.
Well, Michael and I certainly didn't. Todd seems to think that everybody in town knows, but we just found out last night. You know, we didn't know before that, right, Mike?
You were trapped in an impossible situation. Whatever choice you made, you were going to be wrong in some way. It's like me with Asa, covering for him.
But you decided to tell the truth.
Or resign.
Not an easy decision either way.
But the law is clear. And as law enforcement officials, we can't separate ourselves from it. Follow it when it works for us, but not when it doesn't. Things can't work like that, John. And I can't run a department like that.
I wouldn't ask you to. Or want you to.
I'm sorry. But I have to suspend you effective immediately. I'll speak to Nora and explain the situation to her. And then I'll let you know whatever decision she makes as far as pressing charges.
I'll turn over all my open case files to Antonio.
Your Honor, this is outrageous. It's bad enough that Mr. Manning has somehow managed to convince, even coerce Mr. Lawrence into rescinding his testimony.
Objection. There's absolutely no basis for that accusation.
Sustained.
But to somehow try and attempt to justify assault on a police officer, a jailbreak, this is patently absurd.
Your Honor, now that the assault charge has been proven groundless, Mr. Manning's arrest and subsequent incarceration were unjustified in the first place. I'm sure you can well imagine my client's frustration and anger at having been imprisoned solely as a desperate maneuver on the part of the arresting officer, Lieutenant McBain. Lieutenant McBain railroaded my client to prevent Mr. Manning from getting to his child, a child he'd been told was dead, when in reality, he was being kept illegally at the home of the arresting officer's brother and his wife.
None of this has been proven, Your Honor.
None of that is at issue here. What is at issue is what Mr. Manning believed at the time of his arrest. Whether and how that belief informed his subsequent actions, and if those actions should be punishable by law. Mr. Manning, please stand. Mr. Manning, your actions were without question deliberate and criminal. There's no question in my mind that you will be found guilty and punished for those crimes. This case is hereby bound over for trial.
It's not necessarily.
Come on, do you really think John knew about Tommy and was trying to keep it a secret from Mr. Manning?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter now because the secret is out.
Yeah, and with Miles and Mr. Manning involved, it's gonna be really ugly.
Yeah, I am afraid so.
Well, see, what I don't understand is why Miles told Mr. Manning about his son in the first place.
You know, I've given up trying to understand why Miles does anything, but the most important thing now is that little baby. I got stuck in the middle of all this mess.
Yeah, can't even imagine. Well, I was gonna meet up with Star on the way to school, but I think I'm gonna head over there now and see if she's all right.
I think that would be very nice of you. But don't be late for school, okay? What?
This is great.
Me nagging you about being late for school?
Yeah, you nagging me about anything. Love you.
I love you too, sweetie. Cole?
Huh?
What, wanna take this with you? Have a good day.
You too.
How could Dad not lose it? I mean, after everything he went through to find his baby, he almost died. I don't blame him for doing everything that he can to get the baby back.
Still, it's a brutal way for Michael and Marcy to find out. They're not malicious people.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad enough that they lose Tommy.
I feel so bad for Mrs. McBain. She loves him so much. I mean, Tommy and Dr. McBain are her whole life. I used to babysit for them all the... He was my brother. I played with him and I watched him. How could I not have known?
Oh, sweetie, how could you?
I don't know. Don't you think that there would be some sort of connection or sign or something?
There was. You always told me how much you loved Tommy and how much he was your favorite kid to babysit, you know?
And now he's gonna be my brother. He is my brother. I'm gonna be around him all the time. What? What? The McBains aren't going to keep him, are they? I mean, they can't. Right? Dad is going to get the baby back, isn't he?
I can't believe that the courts would take our son away from us. And I know in my head that Todd is Tommy's biological father. And that none of this was his fault, but it wasn't ours either.
Custody battles can be extremely difficult, and they can drag out for a long time.
How long?
I can't really say for sure. Months, years?
Years?
I'm afraid so. And the longer it goes, the harder it is for everyone.
Yeah, but Tommy has been with us for 2 years. We're his parents. Judy, we're his world. I mean, how can Todd just waltz in and expect to take Tommy away from us? He can't do that, can he?
I'm not going to lie to you. In cases like these, the advantage goes to the natural parents.
Yes?
Dr. Saybrook?
Yeah.
I have a registered letter for you. Sign here, please.
Thanks.
No, I can't tell you what's going to happen in the custody battle, but I can tell you that Tommy is your daddy's son, and your father did not give him up for adoption.
So Tommy is probably going to get taken away from the McBains.
Yeah, probably.
So bad for them, but
He's your brother. I know.
Let's just hope it doesn't go into a long, protracted custody suit, because it's always the child who suffers the most in those circumstances.
Child, wait, does Jack know about this?
No, he knows nothing right now. And I want to keep it that way. You know, today is his first day of school. He's so excited. He's up in his room right now packing his backpack. Which, by the way, you should be doing.
I'm not going to school.
Oh, yes, Dorian, listen. You have to get on with your life.
I am, and I'm going to the courthouse.
There is nothing that you can do there.
Yes, there is. I could be there for my dad. Everybody hates Dad, and you know that. Everyone loves the McBains. Dad needs somebody that is going to be on his side. I'm not going to let him go through this alone.
It's a preliminary hearing, all right? Simple as that. It's probably over by now.
Okay, well, even if it is, I want to go visit him.
Do you want Bo to see you there? He'll call the truant officer. Is that what you want? I didn't think so. You know what?
What am I supposed to say to Miss McBain when I see her in school?
Well, she probably won't be there today. Oh, just go.
I'll get it. I'll get it. Just go. Oh, Cole, hello.
Morning, Dr.
Come in.
Ward. Hey, Miss Kramer.
Morning.
I know I'm early, but I heard what's going on with your dad and Tommy McBain. I just want to make sure that you're okay.
I don't know what I am.
I still can't believe it.
None of us can.
Well, I don't know what to say except that I'm glad your little brother's alive. Even if it's all a big mess.
Yeah, it really is.
So, what do you all think is going to happen?
I'm not saying you shouldn't fight, but you need to know we're in for a long, hard battle. It's going to get brutal.
Well, we can handle brutal. Okay, as long as we get to keep Tommy, right, Michael?
We'll do whatever it takes.
I'm counting on that. And be forewarned. Any dirty laundry you've got hiding in the closet can and probably will come out.
Well, we have nothing to hide, so.
Tommy's biological mother, Margaret Cochran, is deceased.
That's correct.
And she and Mr. Manning were never married?
Never. They hated each other. Will that make a difference?
It could. Mr. Manning is also currently divorced from Blair Kramer, with whom he has 2 other children, and they share custody, correct?
So far as we know.
Yeah.
I mean, why?
I'm just gathering facts. You never know what might be useful.
I know that, that this is going to be difficult. It's going to take a long time to settle, but you handled stuff like this before, right?
Like this? No. This case is one of a kind.
I think what Michael is asking is if there is any chance at all that Tommy can stay with us. I just, even if the odds are in Todd's favor, Judy, we need to know if there is any hope.
It's not going to be a slam dunk. There's no evidence of abuse, neglect, abandonment, or endangerment. But I can tell you this, I will do everything humanly possible to make sure you keep your son.
I do find, Mr. Manning, that there were mitigating circumstances. Without that, you, in all probability, would not have behaved so recklessly.
Damn straight, Your Honor.
Todd.
Sorry, Your Honor.
You had just learned that your son was alive. You were obviously desperate to get him back, and while, again, this is hardly any excuse for your behavior, I do find it compelling enough to show you some leniency. Mr. Manning, you are hereby sentenced to 2 years in prison.
Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me.
Don't make me regret this, Mr. Manning.
Your Honor, if I may be permitted.
I'm not finished. Mr. Manning, I will, however, suspend your sentence for a plea of nolo contendere, 1,000 hours of community service, a fine of $150,000. Do you agree to these terms, Mr. Manning?
We do, Your Honor. Gladly.
So ordered. Court's adjourned.
All rise.
Your Honor, may we have a word with you in your chambers, please, regarding a different matter?
The bailiff will bring you back.
I think you could have gotten me a better deal than that, don't you?
You're lucky you got one at all, Todd.
This way, gentlemen.
What are you trying to pull this time? I don't know what you mean.
Not corroborating the charges?
I'm trying to do the right thing.
I'll give you a pass on everything else you've done.
I'm just trying to make up for my past mistakes.
Yeah, right. You know, this is gonna put everyone through hell, including Manning. And you walk. I hope you're happy. Because no one involved in this is gonna be happy for a long, long time. Hey, Mike, how's it going there?
Well, we're, you know, here with our lawyer. We're discussing all the possible scenarios.
How's it looking?
Not great.
Okay, look, I wanted to give you the heads up. Manning's out.
What? They let him walk?
Suspended sentence, community service, and a fine.
Johnny, that's not enough.
It'll have to be. Look, he's in with the judge right now, but he should be back on the street within an hour. You sure you don't want me there?
No, I got my lawyer here. I think we should be able to handle it.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna check in with you later. You need anything, don't hesitate to call.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Hang in there.
Marty, what are you doing here?
I came to file these papers, and since you're here, here's your copy.
What papers?
Annulment papers. Ending our sham of a marriage.
You know, Cole, I don't think anybody knows what's gonna happen, but I tell you what you could do for me. Get this girl to school, and please tell her not to worry so much.
Yeah, well, that is not going to happen, so I'm just hoping that Dad is going to be out of jail by the time I get home. Now, I want you to call me if you hear anything. I don't even care if I get in trouble.
You're not gonna
at
get in
school for
trouble.
it.
I'll clear it with principal. It's gonna be fine.
And when I get home, we all need to talk. All of us.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, I'll try.
See ya.
Yeah. Bye, kids.
Bye.
Todd, he should have been here to see her off on her first day of school.
Well, I'm afraid Todd is only focusing on his youngest child now.
Who was it on the phone?
John, he just wanted to let us know that Todd had been released from jail.
What? What do you mean he's out of jail, Michael? How's that possible?
I don't know, but he's meeting with the judge right now. My brother said that Todd got a big fine and some community service. You know, do you think that maybe that's what they could be meeting about?
It's possible.
God, I hope that's all it is.
You know what? let's stop worrying about Todd Manning, okay? And let's start worrying about what we're gonna do to make sure we can keep our son.
Are you expecting anyone?
No, just you.
Dr. and Ms. McBain, it's the police. Open up.
Oh, God, Michael.
What do you want?
This will explain.
What is that?
Court order.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next One Life to Live.
On the next One Life to Live, you could come help me celebrate my newly